Joey D's book, The Peppermint Twist Chronicles, it's out. Make sure you get it. Links are down below in the description. Stories of Jimi Hendrix, Beatles, Don Rickles, Joe Pesci, it's all here. Artist on Record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. And tonight, Joey D and also Andrew Dice Clay.
Nice, man, you're right.
But I'll tell you about learned. It's what I've learned.
Pesci, now, he could scare the hell out of you, like in Casino and Goodfellas and, Raging Bull. Or he could make you laugh, like Cousin Vinny or The Super. That another funny. The guy, he covers the entire gamut of movies. He can be funny, or he can be, he can rip your heart out.
When I'm sure you've been in LA a lot. You used to go to he was the greatest. Mickey's restaurant. He did the movie with Elvis, and then he opened up the restaurant on Sunset. I'm just forgetting his last name. I hate myself for this. The greatest host, the greatest restaurant, and everybody went there, And that's the first time I sat down with Pesci, because it was my birthday, and he came over. I was with my mom, my dad, my grandmother even, And he sat down, and it was at a time smoking a cigar, And he did My Cousin Vinny when that was supposed to be my movie, and he knew it,
Wow.
I went through a lot of backlash in my career, as you might know, because of, the comedy I do. And, the media was terrified of me. So,
same thing with Lenny Bruce. Same thing.
No, exactly. But
they killed Lenny.
But Lenny wasn't doing 80,000 people a week. It was a different time.
He never got there.
But who I know was Lenny's mother, Sally. I used to sit with her all the time, at Schwab's out in LA, and she'd come to the Comedy Store, and she'd go, "Oh, you're handsome like my Lenny. I love you." She was in my corner, Sally.
There's a story that in the book, he asked me to do him a favor. You got to see. You got to read it. I can't tell it on the air.
Oh man. Okay. I will read the book though.
Please do.
I like when I do like the Hard Rock Live, those kind of plays. Like I'm going to the Hard Rock Live in Orlando. Those are like the bigger theaters. It's
Yeah, I know you did Ruth Eckerd Hall here in Clearwater.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, and that's and I was in the audience, but I never bothered you.
Oh, I would have loved to. Was it a good one at least?
You never do a bad one, man. You just make sometimes you crack me up.
Sometimes I got to throw people out. I don't know if you were there for one of those. Because there was one show, a guy was so, in the 80s, people would heckle, right? And it would go back and forth. It was fun. Today, they just get obliterated with alcohol, and they just want to go, "You suck." And that's when I go, throw him out.
And he got his ass kicked, so there you go.
Yeah, just throw him out,
Yeah, throw the bum out.
And I got to tell you the truth. I'm like, I got a bad temper, So when I get mad on stage, it's not like I'm in character. I really want to hurt the person.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like I'm not going to wreck a show with 2,000 people for some fat fucking asshole.
One nitwit.
You know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So, but the one thing Stephen did tell me, because I talked to him like 2 a.m, that you're doing shows.
I'm going to be with Kenny Vance in 2 weeks at the Mohegan Sun. You know the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Of course I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably work there. And
I do the Foxwoods.
Then I'll be with Kenny Vance at Ruth Eckerd Hall in March. So Kenny Vance is one of my old. He and you, I mean, you guys are the epitome of your craft.
And same to you. I mean, you've, brought me, so much joy with your music. Let me tell you something. I think I called him one other time to Steph, and it might have been with Gene Simmons. right?
Yeah, it was with Gene.
but-
Yes.
Yeah, with Kiss.
When he told me you were going to be on, I said, I'd love to talk to him. I mean, this guy, I just go way back, and he's one of the greats. And then he started telling me about, Hendrix in your band and the Beatles opening for you. I mean, you had an amazing life and career. And I love that you're still just kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, and we had some funny stories with Don Rickles when I worked with him in California. Don's was a pretty cool dude.
Another guy, he's
backstage is when we had the stories. Those are the ones where he called us every name under the sun using some pure language, and we called him every name under the sun.
Let me tell you something. Number one, he's one of the guys that was in my corner when I took off, because I had a lot of problems when I took off with the comedians of my generation. Just suck.
Well, because you're different. You're different. That's why, and that's cool. It's cool to be different.
And look, I'll be quite honest. Like, I never even came into comedy to become a big time comic. I was more into the acting thing. But I figured instead of going to acting school once a week, I'll just get on a stage every night and develop.
There you go.
So obviously it took off. And, I remember coming back.
Niche, man.
I used to visit, like I would just jump on People's Airline for $99 to come visit my parents in Brooklyn. My mother would ask me, my mother was into, she loved Sinatra, she loved Jews, she loved Bobby Darin, all of them, And she would ask me about the comics, and I would say, you got some really good comics out there, but they know nothing about performance. I can't sit there for more than 5 minutes.
You're right, except for maybe Richard Pryor or Rodney.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Rodney's who gave me the shot of a lifetime,
I love him. He was a good friend of mine, too.
Rodney was?
Yes, he was. I used to go to his club all the time on First Avenue, yeah.
I'll tell you something sad. They just closed it.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough, my girlfriend, the apartment I had at the time was a few blocks away, and we're coming down the block, and she goes, why don't you take some pictures in front of the sign, because she knows the story about Rodney putting me on the Young Comedian special. That on a Saturday, and Monday I was the biggest comic in the world. It's just how it went.
How cool is that, man?
It was craziness. It went
That's
from
great.
200-seat clubs to 20,000-seat arenas within months. And I did that for about 5-6 years as far as that size. But she goes, get a picture. She filmed me walking up to it, and snapped it. And now you drive by, it's got a real estate sign on it for rent.
Wow.
For rent. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks,
Yeah.
man.
It does suck. And she goes, aren't you glad we took those pictures? Like 100. I mean, this man gave me the shot of a lifetime.
There you go.
He's
that kind of guy.
Well, he did it for a lot of comics. And when he chose, I'll never forget the night I auditioned for Rodney. I'll just tell you this, because if you know him well, you know how he talks.
Yeah.
So after, I auditioned at the Comedy Store, but I want an answer, And I go, so Rodney, and I was very respectful. I was laid back at first. I'm like, so Rodney, how did I do? Am I on? And he's going, you're okay, man. You're all right. And I go, no, thank you. But, am I gonna, do you want me on? It's gonna be all right, man. Everything's cool. Okay. Where do I get a drink around here? I know, but I get, I'm cool. I'm just, Rodney, am I on? Everything's all right, man. Okay, relax.
Well,
he goes, you're wild, all right, man? You're okay. But no straight, not yes, not no. And of course, I wound up on the show, and the rest is history.
Yeah, he's a very humble guy. What a nice man. And he did help a lot of people like I think I did.
Yeah,
with the Rascals and the Ronettes and Hendrix. I gave them all a shot.
Yeah,
why not?
What about, having the Beatles open and Hendrix in the band. Come on.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I was very blessed. First of all, I'm in New York City in the early 1960s when everything was happening. Every bar had a band in it. They don't have that anymore.
No.
No, I
You
know.
can't even go into a bar anymore. They used to have either a comedy club or a live band. On 44th Street was the comedy club. Around the corner was Peppermint Lounge. So I used to go in and see Richard Pryor.
So here's my question. Here's my question to you. So now you get, was it the Peppermint Twist that was the big break that you went through the roof?
Yes, yes.
So how did that feel when all of a sudden that like went to number one? Like what happened to you? All of a sudden you went from playing, the clubs and working hard,
I was a house band. I was a house band and I became number one. And it happened so fast. And I met so many great people in such a short time. John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Marilyn Monroe, David Gardner, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones.
David Gardner, my God.
They all came to the Peppermint Lounge. And
wow.
This was the Mecca. This is before Studio 54 and all that other stuff.
That had to be where my parents saw you, the Peppermint Lounge. You're right.
There you go. I mean, this is way before that.
Yeah, I'll have to ask my sister because she's 3 years older than me. She would know.
Okay. Well, you're a couple of decades behind us, man. So, but you came along at a great time, and you made me laugh, man. You and the Marx Brothers. I mean, there are very few people that make Jackie Mason. You make me laugh. Rodney.
You know what? That first special that Jackie Mason did with the Jews and the Gentiles, that thing, I was crying. That's how hard I was laughing.
How could you not be laughing? Funny is funny, man.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Funny. Don't make it black. Don't make it white. Don't make it any. Just make it funny. Sammy Davis used to come in my club. I had a club on the West 46th Street in the city. He'd come in there. He had me come to the premiere of I Spy, Bill Cosby and Robert Culp. He has me come to Harlem. That's where he did the premiere for the show and the party. And he has the band know the Peppermint Twist. I come in, he calls me on the phone and says, I want you to come to this party. So of course I showed up. He says, I want you to sing Peppermint Twist. I said, the band doesn't know the music. He says, I already got them the music. They know it. I'm singing the Peppermint Twist. Sammy Davis is singing Baba Shoebop. Okay? Sammy Davis singing background for Joey D. It's in the book. And the picture's in the book. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, Dice.
No, it's unreal. Did you do a lot in Vegas too at that time?
I did a lot in Vegas with Dick Clark. We did the Flamingo in the beginning with Dion and the Dovells and the Ronettes. And we just lost my beautiful Ronnie from the Ronettes. She passed away. I started her out. I gave her a start at the Peppermint.
You are just, your stories are just.
The stories are incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
Well, no, you're incredible. And I can't wait to see you live in person, man.
The same.
I can't wait to hug you and kiss you, man. I love you.
No, you're like, let me tell you something. Like, me and Stefan became friends like about 2.5 years ago. And we talked just about every day, more than once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because we all came up. It's like friggin' Afghanistan outside my. But when
listen to that
all day long, it's like background music.
You could turn praise, man. You could turn. You could make funny out of something that's not funny.
Yeah, look at this. We come from a time where, like, I'm talking to you like I know you forever already. And I'm sure, right, Stefan?
100, absolutely.
Feelings mutual.
When East Coast people get together, it's that thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's like we
fine.
just
Yeah,
all understand each other.
Mhm.
That's how it was when I
we
met
grew up in a
Pesci.
different time.
Yeah, today you can't say anything. You talk. It's
It's
like,
politically incorrect. You know what?
listen,
I don't care what's politically correct. I say what's on my mind, like you do. Except I don't use as much profanity. That's all.
well, I really, I don't curse that much rather than when I'm on stage, you know.
You like
And
Buddy Hackett, like Buddy
Yeah.
Hackett used to do.
oh my God. You want to hear a little funny Bunny Hackett thing?
Of course, we're on Stefan's show. Everything is good.
Okay. So, Buddy Hackett gives me this joke years ago. He was drinking out of his trunk in Beverly Hills. He goes, "What made of my car?" You know, and then he pulls like I don't know what kind of liquor. He's just taking like swigs. He liked to drink whatever, and he goes, "So I got to give you a joke." He goes, "I know you do your own thing, but you're gonna like this joke. You're gonna use it now and then." And he goes, "So I come off the road." He goes, "It's sort of a true. You hear what's going on outside my window?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to sound funny though." And so once,
Sounds like 1980 when I went to Israel for my bar mitzvah. This
What
sounds
the
like.
hell's going on?
you know what? Somebody fell. And listen to I love this. So, if it's too much, you got to once. So he goes. So the way I told you, I go. So anyway, I come off the road. I come off the road, and there was a girl I really wasn't seeing that long, and she goes, "I want you to come over. I want to cook dinner for you." And I'm an unknown car. I go, "You want to cook dinner for me?" Like, all right. So I get to a house. She goes, "Just sit on the couch. The salad will be ready soon." I sit at the table, and she goes, "All right, here's your salad." And then she served me soup, this homemade soup, this vegetable soup that was beyond belief. And like each course was better than the next. She made lamb chops that night. And I'm like, I can't, there's a candlelit table, so we have dinner. And then she goes, I'd love to play. I know you've been on the road, so can I play some piano for you? I know how to play. I go, "So you're going to play piano for me?" Like I'm looking around, like, who does she think I am? I'm this unknown comic. And she goes, "Come sit next to me," And she starts playing these different songs. And she starts playing When the Saints Come Marching In. She goes, "Sing along," and I'm singing along. And then she starts playing this other song, and she goes, "Sing it with me." And I didn't know the words, so I fucked her. And he goes, "I want you to have that joke. It sort of fits what you do." All right. So now the punchline,
You crack me up.
so the punchline to the whole buddy thing is, I was at that time.
I love it. I love it.
So anyway, it was going to be my first son's 5th birthday. So we throw the big, party, and I invite him over, and he comes over, and he brings like this beautiful cake. And, I had to run inside for a minute. He bought like this unbelievable cake. I mean, the cake was like the size of a small table. I mean, he was really a nice man. I loved him, And I come back, and this was like my second marriage. I've had a couple. I've had 3 wives, and they're all gone. All right.
So,
No, I'm finally with somebody that I'm crazy about. Finally, 64, and I finally met her. Anyway, so I come back, and I go over to my wife, and I'm going, "Where's Buddy Hackett?" And she goes, "He left." I go, "Why did he leave? I was out of the room for 3 minutes. Where'd he go? The guy brought this. Look at the cake he brought." She goes, "I don't know. My father talked to him for a minute." I go, "Oh no, please! Are you kidding?" Because like a couple of years earlier, she came from Jersey, from like Bergen County, and her father used to tell me, and you'll get this, how he went to school with Buddy Hackett. You know, he made like he was friends with Buddy Hackett. And obviously, Joey, you had years and years of giant fame. How many people have you heard that you say, I don't know who you're talking about? You know, like from the past.
A thousand.
Yeah, when somebody insists you have a friend somewhere and you go, don't you think I would know who my friends are? If I knew the guy, wouldn't I tell you that I know the guy? Why wouldn't I admit to be? I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about. You know, and that's who her father was to Buddy Hackett. He had no recollection of her dad in high school. And I'm going, your father ruined it. And Stefan, just so you know, that was the same birthday where Adrienne Balbo came over.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, that was that same birthday. Thank God she didn't run out of the backyard. You know. Yeah, it's just unreal. I've had people say to me, we've been friends for years. Oh, wait, Joey, I'll give you one more. Oh, God. There used to be a Sears Roebuck off the Belt Parkway in Brooklyn, which I'm sure you've been on the Belt Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right?
You
Ever been to the Golden Gate Motel, by the way?
No.
Oh, because it was right off. My dad's cousin owned it. It was right off the Belt also. Okay. Anyway, and it's where all the gangsters hung out in Brooklyn, all that, you know. And but anyway, they turned Sears into a flea market. That's 2 floors of booths, you know, sweats, jewelry, sneakers, everything. So when my career took off, I'm really a family guy, so I had my father rent me an apartment on Nostrand Avenue, a block from him. I loved being around family. I didn't care where the career went. I wanted to be close with them.
Right.
So every weekend I go to the flea market. And you know what? The flea market was run by the tough guys, as you would imagine, you know, and they'd all want to talk to me, take pictures, but I would just shop around and they'd also watch my ass, you know, and I had my little group of guys with me. And so anyway, there's a furniture store next to like a lamp store. This is great. So the 2 owners of these stores, they were very tough Italian guys, men, probably in their early 40s at the time, you know, who knows who they were with, you know, that kind of thing. So one of them saying, guys, your mother, she's half Italian, right? You know, actually, she's not. I know we have that look, but no, she's Jewish, you know. And he goes, no, I know your mother a long time, you know. And the other guy from the lamp store is going, the guy just told you his mother's Jewish, her son. So he looks at that guy, you know, the guy he goes, I know his mother since he's a little boy. She's half Italian. Don't tell me what I know. That kind of thing, right? Next thing you know, they're swinging it out. It becomes a mob scene where all of a sudden there's 20 guys involved, pulling them apart, and he's screaming, I know your fucking mother before you knew her. She's half Italian. You know, and I'm going, do you believe what I gotta go through just to buy some sweatshorts? You know, these are the things that, you know, and I bought a house in Brooklyn. You know,
oh man,
I tried to live in Brooklyn, which was impossible. People would, you know, they decide to stop by 3 a.m. You know, there's no property, there's no gates. You know, what happened with you and Stern today? And I'm like, yeah, but 3:30 in the morning. You know, nothing happened. You know, so we had to get out of there. You know, because you know my agent came to visit, and I'm with that agent, Dennis Offer, to this day. And so you know, he looks at the house. It was a 4,000 square foot nice home in Brooklyn, in Bergen Beach.
Yeah.
and was standing outside. And I go, "So Dennis, what do you think of the house?" And he's like, "It's a great house, man. I mean, if you're a successful dentist." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "What do I mean? What are you doing here? What do I mean?" You know, because you're not going to have peace living here. You know, because I wound up driving mini bikes with all the kids in the neighborhood, wearing the leather jacket that I wore like on stage at the Garden.
Right.
But I couldn't stay there because, it gets a little dangerous. At night I get followed. Every red light was a stop sign to me because there wasn't a cop in Brooklyn that would, they love me, But I had to leave there, After I had to go in reverse on the Belt Parkway, a full exit to get away from somebody, I knew it was time to move.
Time to leave. It was time to go. Stephen, you got to have all of this on tape. I want this, man.
You know what, Joey?
This is funny stuff, man.
I'm gonna make you a copy, and it's for you. And you know what? We gotta do more of this. This is a great one. This is.
No, I have to meet Joey now. We gotta meet.
Yes.
I'll let you guys finish it up. I'll call you soon, Joey. Because I'm gonna get your number. We're gonna stay in touch. And Steph, you could give him mine.
I will do that.
Not on the air, Steph.
Not on the air. Listen.
Not on the air. Repeat it to me.
867-5309.
That's it. 421.
I want to see your show, man. I want to see your show.
We got to do it.
Or you could just text them 1-800. Perfect. Oh.
1-800 Andrew Dice Clay on the air. Thank you, Andrew.
Hey.
Thank you very much,
Joey. Thank you, Stefan, and thank you, Joey, for taking the time to talk to me.
I love you, man. Take care of yourself.
I love you.
God bless.
I look forward to seeing you very soon, and God bless you too. And I'll talk to both of you later.
You got it. And everybody over there, when we air this, watch the miniseries. That's right. It's going to be on the air. We'll put the links to that everybody could click on to that down below.
Wow. How cool.
All right, Andrew. We'll speak later.
Wow. This is so special.
That was a lot of fun, huh, Joey? How good was that?
It was more than a lot of fun. It was great.
You know what, Joey? We are going to do another proper interview. I hope I didn't scare you away, and I hope I get a thumbs up from you to Kenny. I don't want to make Kenny.
Are you kidding? This was the best interview I ever had.
As well, and I want to thank Kenny Vance for introducing, and I feel like I have a new friend. Thank you, Joey, for being a part of this.
You do, Stefan. You really do.
I appreciate you and everybody out there. Before we say goodbye, check out Joey's book. It is out, and I'm going to put the links down below. Go check it out. You're not going to want to miss this one. Joey, anything you want to say to the good people in the audience before we head out of here, my friend?
Yeah, I'd like to say take care of each other. We're still living in the greatest country in the world. I love you guys, and thanks for all of you that bought records or came to one of my shows. Without you people, there'd be no Joey D. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be who I am.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Joey. Thank you for the good music that you do and you still do. We love you, everybody. We love you. We'll catch you all later. Much love. Who loves you, baby?
All right.
We do.